What's up, friends, and Merry Christmas Eve.
Yes.
It's Christmas Eve. Welcome into Rock Chalk Sports here on ESPN Kansas City and KansasNation.com with Elijah Schmidt, who's running the operations today, and Daniel Courtwright. I'm Sean Kellerman. Merry Christmas, Dan.
Merry Christmas. You know, come here. Give me your.
Do I have something?
It's supposed to light up.
I know.
There we go. There we go. I got it. It's lit up now.
Is it on? Okay. What are we working with colors-wise?
It's flashing white.
Okay. I'm honored that you gave me the one that.
Yeah.
That
no, I
lights up.
thought it would look good on it. I also gave Elijah a nice little Christmas headband as well.
Look at that.
Mine has sequins on it.
Well.
Yeah, I got these at Walgreens on the way in. They didn't have any regular red Santa hats.
So we had to go a little extra.
These three were the only ones that they had. So.
Hey, you know what?
I like them, though.
We are rolling with it. I hope everybody is having a great Christmas Eve and has a great holiday season ahead. Of course, we will not have shows tomorrow on Christmas Day or on Friday. Same goes next week. No show New Year's Day or Friday, January 2nd. But we're going to have all sorts of coverage leading into that. Starting today, we're talking Chiefs football. We teased this a little bit yesterday, but Chiefs heading to Kansas.
That's
and
right.
It got real for me when I saw the Royals and the Jayhawks go on social media and basically say, welcome to Kansas. Royals are bidding them adieu
Royals
for being
good riddance.
Yeah, for being neighbors for so long. And the Jayhawks said, hey, welcome to Kansas and Kansas City. And then obviously the Chiefs put out some statements that we talked about yesterday. Going to dive a little bit deeper into that here in the opening segment today. And then next segment, we have a special Christmas draft. We are going to keep it very simple. We'll still have our KU Mailbag segment, but since we won't have our fantasy draft that we generally do on our Thursday shows, I mean, it's the holiday spirit. We can't not do anything Christmas-related, of course. So we're going to have a just draft of our favorite things about Christmas. And really, we shouldn't get any arguments from anybody on social media, right? Because it's Christmas.
Certainly
it's all about
not.
the season
Everyone's
of joy.
going to be in a great mood.
Yeah.
And, Christmas is all about spreading the love.
Spreading the love. That's our plan. Speaking of spreading the love, Henry Greenstein.
That's
a very lovable character.
Very lovable character.
Yeah, and a great friend of ours. He had a chance to sit down with Dan a little bit earlier today, and they had a one-on-one conversation. Henry, actually, believe it or not, and this is not in jest, is heading out west.
He is.
To California.
He actually is heading out west to L.A. They're celebrating a belated Hanukkah. I was not aware that it actually ended on Sunday.
Yeah.
But he's going back out. He spent some time in New York, actually.
Yes.
Out east with some family, and now he's going back out west. We were talking about it. The weather is going to be nicer here than it will be out in L.A. L.A. is a little rainy right now.
How do you feel about the weather here? I'm not a fan of it.
I don't love it. I'm not in the Christmas spirit.
I want snow, man. God.
Even though we look like this, I still feel like I could be more in a Christmas spirit, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's a little. It kind of feels like spring right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I was almost hot. I put this Christmas sweater on.
It's kind of crazy.
Whatever. We'll get snow eventually. We just won't have a white Christmas this year, which is a little bit of a bummer. But Henry and Dan had their one-on-one conversation. We'll have that for you in a little bit. And then we're also going to have our KU Mailbag segment. Shout out to all of you for finding us on Twitter. That's the best place to reach out to the show, at the Kansas Nation on Twitter. Got some great stuff on there. Got some really hard-hitting Christmas-related questions. We've got some movie questions coming from some friends of the show, and also, some KU stuff, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So that's our KU Mailbag segment. And then the transfer portal news. It's not official. Nothing's official, right? Portal doesn't open.
Everyone's
until
intending.
January 2nd, but there are some players that we want to revisit who have intentions to enter the transfer portal for KU football that we're going to talk about. And I thought Nick Springer brought up a good point yesterday when he said everything's bad news with how it's set up, because you're going to hear about guys who have intention to enter the portal, but at this point, for the most part, you're not going to hear about guys heading to Kansas. And the good news will come. It's just kind of a bummer situation right now with how it's set up. And then we're going to close out doing a non-conference recap for Kansas basketball as we'll kind of go through the games really, really briefly. KU 10-3, ranked number 17 in the country, and could be in the top 15 by the time next week's AP poll comes out. Of course, they don't play again until then after the victory a couple nights ago against Davidson. All right, we're going to talk Chiefs. First, want to shout out Miles Schneer and everybody over at Crown Automotive. CrownAutomotive.com, Toyota, Volkswagen, and South Iowa. going to be closed today and tomorrow, of course, for the holiday. But go say hey. Tell them the guys over at Rock Chalk Sports Kansas Nation sent you a great Christmas gift. If you're looking to buy a new car for a loved one, Crown is the place to go. Appreciate their partnership.
If you're looking to buy me a new car,
Crown
go to
Automotive.
Crown Automotive.
Why
I'm
not?
looking for a new car right now. So any generous fans out there? No, but yeah, go to Crown Automotive, crownautomotive.com. They'll make sure to get you in the car that you need to fit your lifestyle. A number of new Toyotas and Volkswagens and a number of used cars as well. So whatever you need, they have got it.
Yeah, crownautomotive.com. Again, like I said. All right, let's talk Chiefs. Dan, maybe kind of recap what's come out. Of course, we touched on it, like I said, in yesterday's show, but the Chiefs, after the expiration, I'll say, of the contract at the Truman Sports Complex in 2030, the Chiefs, after numerous years of trying to figure out the game plan, be it for renovating Arrowhead Stadium potentially or for finding a new home in Missouri, a new home in Kansas. Indeed, they're going to be over by the racetracks in Wyandotte County, and really exciting for people in Kansas. This is a huge move. Kansas City Chiefs, of course, always been on the Missouri side, and now they're coming over to the Kansas side, the good side, if you will. But, yeah, there was a vote, Jackson County, back in April of 2024. Bobby Witt Jr., Patrick Mahomes, all sorts of people. You probably saw it on TV saying, hey, vote yes, and we want to keep the Truman Sports Complex. We want to keep the Chiefs and Royals on the Missouri side of Kansas City, and the vote was no. Yep. And here we are, Chiefs kind of putting their foot down. They had a better deal, and particularly because of the Star Bond situation that they could take advantage of on the Kansas side. And the Chiefs are going to be playing football home games 2031 here in Kansas.
That's right. It's kind of surreal. It's happening, right?
Yeah.
I mean, every year it seems like there's always been like a weird comment thrown out there about maybe, there's
Chiefs going to Kansas.
Yeah, Chiefs going to Kansas, Royals coming to Kansas, Royals going to Nashville, when are they going to build a new stadium, yada, yada, yada. And it felt just kind of like fodder for the political systems just to kind of use them as pawns. And now it's happening. Right, and like you said, with the vote in April of 2024, there was a lot of big-time advocates in Jackson County who didn't want, anything downtown, and ultimately it was voted no. And actually, I believe in that vote, there was only around 70,000 votes cast in that vote. So you got to think that the state of Missouri, the city of Kansas City, the county of Jackson County are probably a little frustrated that there were people like Frank White, who Royals legend, by the way, but is now in politics in the Kansas City area. He was a big advocate for the no. There was, some sports talk radio guys who were advocating for no and really got the word out there that no, we don't want to. We want them to stay where they are. And the reality of it is that one of two things is going to happen, right? If you voted yes, then either the Royals or the Chiefs or whoever we're going to move downtown, or the Chiefs are going to stay at the Truman Complex and the Royals are going to move downtown, or something along those lines, and you're going to keep both of them on the Missouri side. If you voted no, it was only a matter of time before somebody waltzes in to, the dynasty of the 2020s with the Kansas City Chiefs or the Royals or whoever, either one of them, and they were going to give them a lot of money to move. And it was only a matter of time. That's a no vote almost guaranteed that some other state or some other county or wherever it may be was going to come in and essentially take your teams. And that's exactly what happened, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now with the Kansas City Chiefs moving over to Kansas. I am very happy about this. I think you might have said it yesterday about how, you love the Chiefs, you love the Royals, but there's always that weird kind of thing in the back of your mind of like, they're not really, they're on the
they're
Missouri.
over there.
They're on the Missouri side.
Over there.
No,
and we feel a type of way toward that state over there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't like them. They're bad people. And, a number of different Chiefs players live in Kansas, and a number of different Royals players live in Kansas, and in the grand scheme of things, it is all one big city, right? I mean, I at least as a small town Kansas kid, I always lumped them together. Kansas City, Kansas, Kansas City, Missouri, Olathe, Lee Summit, whatever. That's all Kansas City.
Well, nationally, everybody assumes it's Kansas, so
right. Well, that's true. Yeah, Kansas City, Missouri. But yeah, I mean, look, being in Missouri for all those years, there was a little bit of a bad taste kind of just of like, that kind of stinks. But now they're ours. Now they're in Kansas. Kansas only had one professional sports team in the state. Do you know who that was?
As of
like this year.
Oh, is it Sporting KC?
Sporting.
Sporting, yeah. But
Yeah.
KC Current.
No, KC Current is on the other side.
That's right. They're on the other side.
They're on the
Yes.
border because that river is right there.
I thought
they
you were
are
trying to
technically
trick me, but yes.
No. They
Sporting
are
KC.
technically on the Missouri side, but for years and years and years, it's been Sporting KC, and that got there because of the Star Bonds, and we know how great of a stadium that is. The Kansas Speedway is also there. It's part of the Legends District, and that is apparently where the Chiefs are going to be moving. So, look, all in all, I think it's great. The Star Bonds District, STAR stands for sales tax and revenue. So, look, the money is going to be going towards building that new stadium. This is going to be the largest government-subsidized stadium that has ever been created. $1.8 billion of state income or state taxes is going towards building the stadium, but a lot of that is coming from the revenue that's being placed at the Star Bonds District. Any sales tax that you buy anything with in the Star Bonds District is going back there. So eventually it will get paid off. I still believe that the initial Star Bond District with the Sporting and the Kansas Speedway is still being paid off as we speak, and it'll be a while. But with the Chiefs, that's a lot more revenue coming in, right? I mean, if you're going to build a 60, 70, 80,000 seat stadium out there, I mean, that's a lot of revenue coming in. Granted, it's only going to be for 8 or 9 games, right? But this opens it up for the opportunity to host Final Fours, to host, numerous different concerts, to host, anything you could imagine, right? The NFL draft, whatever it may be, it presents this opportunity. And I think this is good for Kansas City as a whole, even the Missouri side, because I think for this, with how much business is going to be going up in the Star Bond District, with how much revenue, with how much economic growth there is going to be with the Star Bond District, this is going to get Kansas City in the realm, if you were to rank all of the cities in the world, right? Not the world, in the nation, right? It's like New York, LA, Chicago, you got Dallas is in there. Kansas City's at least the ceiling for this, Kansas City could be, thought of as a top 8, 9, maybe even like 7 or 6 city in the nation, right? Where as of right now, Kansas City is kind of looked at that place in the middle of nowhere. You have the Chiefs, you have the Royals, you have a big downtown, I guess. But in terms of the grand scheme of things, this is going to bring Kansas City to new heights, and Kansas City, Kansas, more so to new heights with all the economic growth and with all the revenue that's going to be flowing through there. It's just going to be a hotbed for more people to move in. It's going to be really good for the city. And now people are like, I don't want people to move into our city. I like it the way it is. Well, the city's growing is always a good thing, right? It's always good. There's new development. It's, good for jobs for people in the surrounding area. I just think it's going to be excellent. And, yeah, it's a lot of money for the stadium. I get it, but
there's a lot of money in the NFL.
A lot of money in the NFL. And, if you can get the Kansas City Chiefs in 2031 is their aiming point as to when they want this stadium to be done. Patrick Mahomes will probably still be in the league, right? Patrick Mahomes will still probably be with the Chiefs. And who knows? Maybe Patrick Mahomes will go on another run, kind of like Tom Brady did in the latter part of his career. So I ultimately think it's a good thing. I think this gives the state of Kansas a lot of credit in terms of getting this over the finish line, because we all know how these things can go. They can be dragged on forever. But after the no vote in April of 2024, it took them, less than 2 years to get this finalized and finally put pen to paper and say that the Chiefs are actually moving over to Kansas is an excellent job done by the leadership at this state to try to improve upon it with everything that's going on, right? With the Panasonic plant, you're talking, the surplus in money that the state of Kansas has gotten since back in the day when Kansas was in a big deficit. It's really good for the state of Kansas. And taxes are going to go up. Sure, I get it. But at the same time, everything's going to be positive. And I think this is going to be a home run.
Let's go back to early April 2024. That was when residents of Jackson County, Missouri, resoundingly voted down the sales tax measure that would have helped fund a new downtown ballpark for the Royals and renovations as well to Arrowhead Stadium. And it was, 58%, north of 58%. I mean, that's not exactly a nail-biter in terms of these things. But Royals owner John Sherman, Chiefs president Mark Donovan acknowledged well before that it was going to fail. And initially, the Royals, who had pledged $1 billion from ownership for the project, wanted to use their share of tax revenue to help fund a $2 billion+ ballpark district. And then the Chiefs, who were coming off of their most recent Super Bowl championship, they had committed $300 million in private money and would have used their share as part of an $800 million overhaul of Arrowhead Stadium. At the time, John Sherman with the Royals saying he was deeply disappointed as they were steadfast in their belief that Jackson County is better with the Chiefs and the Royals, and Mark Donovan of the Chiefs saying the Chiefs would do what's in the best interest of our fans and our organization as we move forward. And to your point, since that time, not even 2 years ago, this ball has been rolling, right? And it's going to be a lot of fun kind of closing down Arrowhead and Kauffman Stadium these next 5 years. But, this is a huge, massive win for the leadership in the state of Kansas. And the Kansas City Chiefs are now going to be on this side. I mean, that's just a huge win, again, and I think, like you said, I think it's going to be a big win for everybody. And you wonder how many of those voters who voted no regret that, knowing that this actually happened. Because kind of like you were saying, Dan, this was a cloud that overhung everything for quite some time. And bottom line is people made things happen, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the old saying we talk about in sports, like there's plays to be made and you either make them or you don't, right? And that happened, unfortunately, a couple times in a negative way for Kansas football these past couple seasons where they haven't made the big plays. This is a situation where the Chiefs and the Royals, to a lesser extent right now, or at least to a slower extent as the Royals kind of weigh their options still, the Chiefs, hey, they're like, all right, there's plays to be made. Let's go do it. And again, I can't say enough about the leadership in this state, the leadership of the Chiefs for making this happen. And it's the right move financially. Like you said, they have the ability to utilize the star bonds. This is going to be a good investment. Let's just put it that way.
It will be.
And Chiefs, as I said yesterday, 5 Super Bowl appearances in less than 10 years, 3 Super Bowl championships. Patrick Mahomes is in all likelihood still going to be your quarterback. And, who knows who else will be on this team, who else will be in the front office. But good leadership, a lot of wins recently. And, I'm excited for this as somebody who's lived in Kansas my whole life. Can't wait to bring the Chiefs over to this side eventually.
Yeah, and, one more thing about this is because it is the Royals, this puts them in a very interesting spot. Because the Royals have all of the cards in their hand right now. And I think this is going to be a good thing for the Royals because the city of Kansas City, Missouri is desperate to keep the Royals because I have this stat. It's from K-State Man, at K-State Man. This will be the only time I ever quote you on this show. He said, sports franchises lost in the last 75 years. Missouri, St. Louis Browns, St. Louis Football Cardinals, the St. Louis Rams, the St. Louis Hawks, who used to be the St. Louis Spirit, I believe, back in the ABA days, the Kansas City Kings, they went to Sacramento, Kansas City Athletics, moved out to Oakland, but then they were later, they brought in the Royals, Kansas City Scouts, and now the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas has lost 0. Professional sports teams.
The success of that Legends area since it's come about. You got Hollywood Casino and you've got the Kansas Speedway. Yeah. You got Sporting KC like we talked about, the shopping district, and it's just going to continue to grow. That's going to be something that just continues to get bigger and bigger.
But one of the bigger things, one of the bigger storylines coming out of this is the fact that the Royals are now going to have their own identity. Right, because it always felt like the Royals were kind of lumped in there with the Chiefs in terms of the Truman Sports Complex.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially in the last few years, right? 2014, 2015, that was different.
Right.
But it's always been the Chiefs and the Royals, right? Now you have the Royals with the ability to move downtown, which I am willing to bet that they will move downtown because
you got to make a move.
Kansas City, Missouri is going to do whatever they want because the word that's kind of looming overhead, like the sword of Damocles, is Nashville. right? Nashville wants an MLB team bad, and they're going to try to sink their talents into the Royals. So Kansas City, Missouri is going to do everything that they can. They will be yes men. So Kansas City Royals probably going to get a downtown stadium, which is ideal because on both sides, on the Kansas side, you have the Kansas City Chiefs, you have the Legends area. It's going to be great, booming. And then for downtown, you're going to have an awesome area with a downtown ballpark. Downtown ballparks are my favorite thing in the world. Okay, I have been to 5 ballparks in my life. Or no, 4 maybe. I've been to Kauffman, I've been to the St. Louis Cardinals, I've been to Wrigley, and I've been to the Denver Rockies.
Yeah.
3 of those are downtown ballparks. St. Louis, Wrigley, and
Colorado,
Denver. Yeah. And those 3 are by far and away, and I love the Royals.
Awesome.
But by far and away, they're my favorite. Wrigley's cool.
There's nothing.
Wrigley's better,
there's nothing to do after the Royals game. Like being in the heart of a city. There's something to be said for that.
I went down to Wrigleyville afterwards.
Yeah.
It's
incredible.
Denver
and
is
even
awesome.
St. Louis, which I don't love St. Louis, but you just love the fact that there's energy there.
The
Royals have such a great opportunity.
It's so
now
great.
They really do. And again, going to the Royals game is always fun. And we will look back on this time at Kauffman Stadium, Truman Sports Complex with great memories, and certainly Arrowhead as well. But it's just a little bit different when you can actually go be out in the community and contribute to growing businesses out there. Bars, shopping, whatever it is, restaurants. I mean, you're going to have that chance, and you just haven't for a while. And I do think, yes, this isn't a fair argument, but I do think that when things get rolling, assuming the Royals actually do get some semblance of a downtown ballpark, people are going to, a couple years in, be like, man, I wish we would have done this years ago.
I know. Well, that's the thing. And like downtown Kansas City, they have the T-Mobile Center, right, which was built as kind of a pawn to lure the Pittsburgh Penguins.
But
or
it's
some
huge
NBA
right now
team.
for Big 12 tournament.
And that's the thing.
It's awesome. You walk outside in Power and Light District.
What else is there?
Right.
There's nothing. You have 81 days a year now for the Royals. If they do move downtown, which I would assume that they would, if heaven forbid, if Nashville comes in with $3 million, whatever, that you can't beat that. But if the Royals move downtown, that's 81 days a year where you have the Power and Light District, you have the T-Mobile Center, and it is so underutilized. The T-Mobile Center has 2 banners hanging up. Do you know what they are?
Yes,
they're for Garth Brooks concerts.
Yes.
You have the Royals downtown. That is going to make downtown Kansas City a lot more fun. So all in all, this is going to be great.
Yeah, looking forward to it. We're going to hear all sorts of insights, honestly. We have a lot of friends of the show who live in the Kansas City area, and we want to get their takes as well. Obviously, we're going to keep KU at the forefront, but this is huge news right now locally with the Chiefs heading to Kansas. Can't believe it's real, but indeed it is real. After this, well, we're a little bit in the Christmas spirit. Yeah, it's warmer outside than we want,
makes you say
but yeah, you might be able to tell. We're going to do a little quick Christmas draft of our favorite things about Christmas before we hear from Henry Greenstein, KUSports.com and the Lawrence Journal World, a sit-down he had a little bit earlier today with Dan Courtwright. That's coming up next. ESPN Kansas City, KansasNation.com. It's a holly jolly edition of Rock Chalk Sports here on KansasNation.com and ESPN Kansas City. Going to do a special Christmas-flavored draft.
That's right.
That is, what's your favorite Christmas flavor?
I'm not going to tell you.
Eggnog?
I do love eggnog.
Really?
I'm a big fan.
I've been afraid to try it.
What do you mean?
I'm not a picky eater, but it just looks kind of weird. It looks like yellow milk.
Yeah, it's not. The consistency's not great. But, you know, I'm a big fan. I love me some nog.
All right.
Alcoholic nog.
Yeah, what do they put in it? I don't even know.
I think it's bourbon.
Okay.
You can buy it like pre-made with alcohol in it at liquor stores. Evan Williams, I think they make it.
Dude, our go-to drink is whiskey sours, as I've discussed.
Sure. I have some in my fridge, so you feel free to.
From a couple years ago?
I
think that's how it works.
I think George Bush was in office.
Yeah.
The first one.
Yeah. Oh, the first one. Okay. So yeah, that'll have some extra flavor on it.
Yeah, it's mostly solid. I think it's all solid.
Yeah.
It's green now. Anyway,
we're gonna do a really simple draft of Christmas stuff. No, we're not gonna draft them as basketball players or football players. I'm sorry about that.
That's fine.
But you know, just a little Christmas
flavor.
Christmas but first, tell us about Game Day Men's Health. Lawrence, Dan, I know you had a great experience there, as all guys can go and their first visit is complimentary.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I went and checked it out. Just make sure that all the gears were turning, all the lights were turning on and off, and you know, it's a plush man cave-like setting. They have a TV in there. They have a bunch of really cool artwork. White coat phobia is real, and not a lot of guys like to go to the doctor. They like to put it off. But go to Game Day Men's Health and get yourself checked out just to make sure, even if you feel a little off, right? If you're not feeling like you want to go to work or want to go to the gym, you feel a little tired, maybe you're sleeping bad, it doesn't have to be, something big. Just make sure you go get yourself checked out. The first visit is completely complimentary. It's 100% free. They will take your blood and they'll just do some tests and see if everything is working all right. Very friendly front desk as well. Very friendly nurses, very friendly nurse practitioners. Shout out to Sam Abrams over there. So yeah, I mean it's a really great place. Like 50% of men deal with low T by the age of 40, and 60% of men deal with some form of erectile dysfunction in their life. So go get yourself checked out. If you're dealing with something like that, or if you're just not feeling yourself, go check out Game Day Men's Health here in Lawrence. Google Game Day Lawrence. And like you said, first visit is totally free. Cozy man cave-like setting. Shout out to Mitch Bales, Sam Abrams, and everybody over there at Game Day Men's Health.
Yeah, appreciate that partnership as Game Day Men's Health Lawrence joined up with Kansas Nation. All right, hey, let's get going on this Christmas draft. How are we going to do this? Are we going MIAA coin? Do you have the MIAA flipping coin? Okay.
When do I not have the MIAA flipping coin?
That's true. All right, I hope you're ready for this.
Of course I'm ready for this.
Let's do it. Okay, flip it, and I'm going to go. I got to wait till it's in the end.
So this, by the way, this is the MIAA flipping coin. It's
Yes.
from the only game I ever got meaningful playing time in my playing days. I played in 3 snaps. 2 of them were victory formation. MIAA is heads.
Okay.
The football player with all the teams is tails.
All right. Give me heads this time.
Come on, if it landed and you called
I can't see it. Did it?
There's no way
Is
you
it
can't
heads?
see that. Yeah, it's heads.
Okay. All right. I got to go 1-1
That's
overall.
unbelievable.
I mean, 1-1 overall as I am now up to like 90%.
So this is just we're doing a draft of just our favorite
Christmas
Christmas
things.
things.
Favorite Christmas
Okay.
things just
All right.
to get in the
That's
spirit. I'm going easy 1-1 overall. Give me time with family. Time with family. I mean, you
Ooh.
cannot beat it. You get to, play games. You get to watch your kids and nieces and nephews open presents.
Sure.
You get to see who gets too inebriated too quickly. I mean, it's just a great time, right? Everybody's off work. You get everybody going together. The kids are running amok. It's a total disaster, but it's great. I'm going with that. Time with family. 1-1 overall.
Look, I get it. That's a pander pick. I totally understand. You're preaching.
Sorry
to
that
the
your
audience.
family isn't awesome
My
like
family
mine.
is awesome. I like my family, but that's a pander pick. There's a lot of great things about Christmas. Obviously, it is mostly about spending time with family,
Yes.
right? You get the time off. You go back home, wherever that may be, spend some time with your folks, spend some time with your sisters or nieces or uncles or aunts or whatever that may be. Do you ever have any hostile family Christmases?
Oh, are you kidding me? Yeah, it's one of the best parts.
All the time? Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, yeah.
Or people unhappy with their gifts and it gets really awkward.
Ooh, that would be,
Yeah.
I've never had that. More so just like, on my mom's side of the family, things can get a little tense sometimes. That was like the main issue.
Right. Oh yeah, no, totally. That's
been over there in a
every
while.
family specialty.
Yeah, no, there's been a few rifts in our extended family that have not been sewn back together.
See, but then,
which is always so much fun, though.
you're
We're kinda in the
potentially
middle
going to
of
have kids. Your sister has kids, and then all of a sudden, you kind of start your own family, and then
That's true.
because that's
I
how
get
it was.
along-
I remember that with
yeah.
like your parents' siblings and all that, and you hang out
Sure.
with them, and then when you're younger, then you get older. But
Yeah,
anyway,
that's
time
fair.
with family. That's 1-1 overall. You're
That's-
up for back to back.
That's a great one. I got back to back here. I mean, I'm going to go with the one that everyone is too afraid to take. Give me presents.
Yeah, I was gonna say you love getting presents. You hate opening them in front
No,
of
I
people.
don't. I don't like. Actually, I'm not good at getting presents, but I like the idea of. Getting presents, but in terms of actually receiving presents, I'm really bad at it because I never know the proper amount of gratitude I'm supposed to show. Like,
Yeah.
I'm always
Like,
like,
at what point does it seem fake?
right? Yeah, that's the thing, and I overthink that. So then I think I swing the pendulum back, and I'm not appreciative enough, and then I get self-conscious about that too, where I'm like, oh, they think I'm a bad person because they got me this thing, and I wasn't
Right.
appreciative enough. But I was really just didn't want to be too appreciative because they would think that it was fake.
So
And
which
that-
part of
this-
presents do
all
you
of this-
like?
the idea of
the
them.
actual presents. Okay.
Yeah, the presents themselves, because I will use them. But yeah, no, getting presents, that's always nice. My parents are getting us baseboards for Christmas, and I'm actually so thrilled. You've been to my house, and I do not have baseboards.
Yeah.
That was one of the many things where the first 3 months we were there, we just worked so hard,
right?
And we took off all the baseboards, and then there came a time where we're like, let's take a break, and then that break turned into a year.
Yeah,
and
it's hard to get back into
more
that.
than and so it's we got to a point where we're like, we can live without baseboards, but now we're getting baseboards. So that's nice.
That'll be a nice gift.
Yeah, super nice of my parents.
Back to back for you.
Back to back here. There's so many good ones, and I don't want to be stupid about this, but I think I'm gonna go with just a favorite of mine, just watching Christmas movies.
Yeah, no, that's classic.
Do I have to pick specific ones?
No, but I would like to know your top 3.
So every year, I believe it's AMC, they will do a Christmas story. It might be TBS now. 24 hours where they just play a Christmas story. Is it on right now? Yeah. Oh yeah, so they'll play 24 hours a Christmas story just constantly nonstop. I will watch a Christmas story 8 times in a row. That's one of my favorite holiday traditions. Elf, obviously, up there. Underrated because I feel like it's too old, and a lot of people used to watch this every year. It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life.
That is a great.
Yes.
That brings a tear to my eye.
But I said 3, and that's your third, so you can't say any more.
Damn it!
So that's a bummer. I know. But hey, since you asked, I don't
care.
Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, of course.
The
Jim Carrey.
animated or the Jim Carrey?
Jim
one?
Carrey.
Sure.
And not the first animated, not the second animated. The Jim
one
Carrey
in the middle.
one.
Sure.
Yeah, it's the best one. And yeah, I agree on Elf, but White Christmas is a classic, man. Danny Kaye and Bing Crosby.
Man,
I gotta fire that off. I know.
You're not a movie guy, but that's
White Christmas is great.
Look at you, man.
White Christmas is great. I'm almost kind of
Grinch,
bummed
White
NFL
Christmas
is on because now it doesn't force me to watch these Christmas movies.
Yeah, we got to watch the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I'm saying that
we certainly don't have to this year.
We have to watch. Well, yeah, if you want to watch the Chiefs, you can.
Yeah.
I'm going to reluctantly.
Right.
But
there are some good ones too that just have come out. Like A Bad Mom's Christmas is good. Have you seen that with Mila Kunis and Kristen Bell? Shout out to Forgetting Sarah Marshall as well.
Do you like cheesy holiday Hallmark?
I would dabble.
I would
dabble.
Movies.
It's the great. Oh man, it's so good. It's the same thing where a guy and a gal are shopping together at what I have to assume is like a Kohl's. And then, the gal drops something and the guy picks it up.
The meet cute.
And then,
classic.
It's just
well,
great.
She's big businesswoman working in the big city, and then she has to come home for the holidays.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden she bumps into a guy working at a Christmas tree farm, and he's wearing flannel, and they went to high school together. Right. And it reminds her of a time where it was simpler.
Yes, so good, man. That movie writes itself, as you know.
No, that is 50 different movies on Hallmark Channel.
The proposal.
Oh, that's no.
So good.
Good. That's a good one.
So good. And I mean, that made me think of it because it's very similar. Businesswoman of
but also
what's her face?
Higher a production
Sandy
level.
B. Yeah. That is Christmas, right? That is
Sandra Bullock,
Betty
and
White's
Ryan
in that.
Reynolds. Betty White is in that. You have to
So
go to
good.
Alaska. That's good.
All right.
Poll. You have two back-to-back here.
I get back-to-back here, and I'm gonna go with. I'm just gonna go with Christmas music.
Sure.
Music,
You can go with that.
especially Pentatonics. Man,
nice.
Love Pentatonics. If you haven't watched that 2, 3, 4, 5 hours in a row on YouTube, you should do that. Just so good.
2, 3, 4,
so
5
good.
hours in a row.
I don't know. It's just like all their videos.
Is it a
play at
documentary?
once.
Oh,
no. Just YouTube where they play one after the other.
Will you throw it on the?
Just throw it on in the background. Yeah,
sure.
wrap some gifs,
I like
man.
That, man.
And then, I've got some good ones, but I'm gonna go with this next one.
That's fair. So Pentatonics is your number one. Christmas.
Pentatonics is my number one, but
you don't like Frank?
Give me Holly Jolly Christmas by Andy Williams.
Sure.
Give me White Christmas by Bing Crosby.
Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, Brenda Lee.
Yeah, that's great. Nat King Cole has a couple.
Faith
Hill, Where Are You Christmas?
Ooh, good one.
Man, there's so many. You know what I love that I haven't listened to yet, which I need to because it's Christmas Eve? Christmas Shoes.
Oh, that song
so
sucks.
Good.
That
so
song
good.
sucks.
That's
a terrible.
Tugs the heartstrings.
By the way, stop what you're doing. If you're on YouTube right now, come back, please. But go look up Old Fashioned Christmas by Linda Bennett or Lisa Bennett.
Lisa sounds more right.
It is the It is the worst Christmas song. It's so great. It's just look up Old Fashioned Christmas on YouTube. It is the best.
Christmas Tree Farm by Taylor Swift is great.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
That's a good one. No, but
Nice.
Christmas Shoes, man.
Drummer
I'm
Boy
in.
by Justin Bieber.
I'm going with
yeah, I'm on the drum. Yeah, I'm on the snare drum.
I'm going with Time Off Work for my next one.
Oh, that was on my list.
Right?
Yeah, that's good.
Which we obviously appreciate. We're sad that there's no show, but we appreciate having a couple days off away from.
Yeah, no show
Away from our
tomorrow.
show. Yeah,
or Friday too. So
But
that's why
yeah,
we're
it's
doing a
just
show on
nice
Christmas
being
Eve.
able to have some extra time to spend with family. All right, you get back to back.
I can't believe this hasn't gone yet. Just give me Christmas dinner, right?
Okay.
Do I get all the fixins? Are you allowing this?
Yeah, you can have Christmas dinner, sure.
Cool. Okay. I'll take. Give me all the fixins, man. Give me the honey ham. Give me the mashed potatoes and gravy. Give me the Mexican food. My mom always makes some great Mexican food. Just a traditional family. Traditional Christmas.
I love it.
Dinner. I think is the food is the big part of it. You
Yeah.
know? But back in the day, by the way, whenever I would go to those hostile family Christmases, they used to be there for like 4 hours making tamales, and it was so good.
Yeah.
This is how I grew up, like incredibly Catholic. I'm Irish and Mexican.
Yeah, you're
so
2/15 Mexican, right?
I'm a quarter Mexican,
Okay.
but I like could not be more Catholic. They used to make tamales, and then they used to have a birthday cake with candles.
Oh, my
and they
God.
would sing "Happy Birthday" to Baby Jesus.
Oh, that's cute.
I know, it was fun.
Very
and
cute.
The youngest person there would always get to blow out the candles.
Oh,
Isn't that fun?
that is fun.
Yeah, I always like that. And we got to eat
Just
cake.
traditions in general.
Who eats cake on
No, that's a-
Christmas,
that's a
right?
good one. That's a good
it was
one.
great.
Christmas
I
dinner.
loved it, man. It was awesome. Just give me Christmas dinner, man. My Christmas dinner is probably a little bit different than everybody else's, but
It's the
whatever.
camaraderie of it.
Yeah, right. It's camaraderie. It's getting around the dinner table, and then I'm gonna go with Christmas lights. That feels cheap to do, but
Yeah.
Christmas lights. By the way, Mass Street, beautiful right now.
It is.
They're not gonna take these down until February, right?
No, correct.
I
yeah,
am
they're going to
so
be up,
happy
and that
about
just
that.
makes it. We need more joy in our world,
South Park.
so-
I actually proposed to my fiance at South Park, and they
Yes.
have that tunnel down there. Go to the softball complex off of K10. Was that West?
Yeah.
Go down there. You donate it. You donate money to a really good cause, and then you get to see a bunch of Christmas lights too. We took our dogs the other day, and they loved it.
That's great.
They're hanging their heads out the window, just looking around.
I know. We've
We're
taken
like, look,
Ava
Mac,
to a
there's
few.
Santa, and he was like, because he's a dog. He
Right.
doesn't talk. But
He
yeah,
does
no,
pant though.
He does
Yeah.
pant. Yeah, it was great. Christmas lights.
Christmas
man.
lights are good. I love when people have the
Imagine-
blow ups and all the
Imagine
character.
Christmas without Christmas lights. You
yeah,
can't.
that's true. Great point.
Mm-hmm.
Great point. Also, imagine Christmas without Christmas treats, which is what I'm going with here.
Good
My
one.
next Christmas treats. I mean, and that's all encompassing. You get all the aspects of dinner. I get all potential treats. I mean, we've talked about this. I mentioned yesterday
Yeah.
my mom's divinity. Ooh, it's like a big marshmallow, just a bunch of little marshmallow. Oh my god, just
So it's
melts in your
it's
mouth.
marshmallow with marshmallows on top.
No, just a bunch of little marshmallows, but they're homemade
Sure.
marshmallows.
Is there
I
anything
don't
on the bottom?
understand how. No,
It's just marshmallows.
no, I'll show you a picture.
Please do.
But like the fudge, the Rolos with the pretzel, melted, and then we talked about this as well. But the Oreo balls / cake pops, there's cream cheese in there. I don't know, they're amazing. And then
Cookies.
just the candy, man. You got
Yeah.
again, you got Rolos, you got M&Ms everywhere. Sure, I'll have a handful.
You brought Rolos
anything.
up 3 times in the last 2 days.
I know that's
you really like
that's-
Rolos.
Well, I'm just saying, there's a special treat, and then there's just
I
Rolos
get
a la
it.
carte.
Sure.
Rolos are great. But yeah, Christmas
But like,
treats.
even like the cookies, like Christmas cookies,
Christmas
with like
cookies,
the
yeah.
icing on the top, and
Yep.
they're shaped like little trees.
Very,
No,
very good.
That's a good pick.
And then
Solid
kind
pick.
of in the same realm, give me Christmas beers / specialty drinks.
Nice.
Like you said, eggnog. Give me Nutcracker from Boulevard.
Yeah. Oh.
Give me, basically, I think Shiner's got a holiday spirit, which isn't really my favorite beer, but you just drink it because
Yeah.
it's Christmas.
Kind of like
And you
that's how I
do?
am with like Sam Adams Oktoberfest.
Totally.
Like, it's
I'll drink it
fine,
in
but,
October.
I love it in
Yeah.
October.
I guess there's a reason it's a seasonal.
I'm
But
not
yeah,
gonna drink it
Christmas
in
beers,
July.
and then the specialty drinks. I mentioned the whiskey sours that we do with the frozen lemonade and the Jim Beam. It's very good. But yeah, things that you're pretty much only going to have over Christmas. All right, you get to close out your portion of the draft with back-to-back picks here. Dan, what's left that you need to have?
So I have back-to-back here. I want to take this, but we're not going to have it, and we haven't had it in a while. But I want to just take snow.
You can take snow. I know.
Can't take snow.
I'm fine with you taking that.
I mean, like
snow or the idea of a white Christmas.
The idea of a white Christmas, I think, is the biggest, because like that's just, you can't beat that, right? Snow on Christmas
wish,
Day.
man, it beats
Dude,
70 degrees.
I know. It's gonna be bikini weather outside tomorrow. I know. I mean, look, maybe if there's a golf course open, because I'm actually gonna be heading to St. Louis here relatively soon. If there's a golf course open, maybe I'll hit the links or something.
Yeah.
But also, it's just weird. It doesn't get me in the Christmas spirit. So, if there's snow on Christmas, it just amplifies it that much more.
Right.
Where
totally
you're just like, oh my gosh.
I love snow, man, and what maybe once in our life we've had a white Christmas.
Probably.
I'm not happy with it, but anyway, no, I love the idea of it, and what am I gonna do? Like later today, I guess I'll take my daughter to the park on Christmas Eve because it's 70 degrees out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's whatever.
It's weird. And then for my last one, can't believe this fell. Christmas tree.
Okay.
It's one of the few, which granted, I guess indoor plants have become a more of a mainstay in American pop culture, but it is like, I don't know. If I'm an alien looking down, I'm like, why are they bringing a tree inside? That's just weird. You know what I mean? And also, it's like, they're not even bringing a real tree. It's a fake tree. Like, this one is, I love it, but it's fake. Doesn't smell like pine cones.
I don't think it smells like
But the Christmas tree.
fresh balsam.
You can't have Christmas without a Christmas tree with the skirt and the presents all wrapped under. Did you ever, by the way, you don't strike me as a rabble-rousing, rambunctious child.
There's a lot of R words.
Yeah. But did you ever find your presents beforehand when your parents were asleep and carefully take off the tape?
I tried
and unfold it and then unbox it.
I didn't, but I tried to not because I liked
the
pain of waiting, because you got to have the joy of actually opening them up.
Yeah, see, I just couldn't wait.
Yeah,
I had to, and I was so good.
You strike me as a rabble-rousing, rambunctious child, so I believe that.
I was a rabble-rousing, rambunctious child.
All right, well, I'm going to close this out with one that I think you also have to have that's overlooked, and you're going to completely agree with me. That doesn't smell like fresh balsam, but you know what does? A fresh balsam scented candle. Christmas candles.
Christmas candles.
If you close your eyes in any given setting where it's Christmas time, you're not going to know it's Christmas time unless you smell fresh balsam. And that is the scent. Fresh balsam is the scent. Now, there are a lot of Christmas-flavored, Christmas-scented candles. I get that. But fresh balsam is the one. And, again, it just smells like Christmas, man. I mean, that's what it's all about. So I'll take Christmas candles there with my final one. I do have some honorable mentions. I have candy canes, which that might count as a treat, might not, but candy canes is on there.
Throw that as a treat.
Giving gifts, Christmas sweaters.
Yeah. Coca-Cola
Classics with Santa on them is a good one.
So you know what a good one is?
Playing games, darts, board games with your family. Yeah.
I have Friendsmas on my list.
Just
a good old-fashioned Friendsmas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's there's something about it. It's because everybody has the time with their family, but you go back home and all of your friends have off work. Back in college, everybody would be off school, and you get all together and wear fun shirts and drink a lot of beer and a lot of eggnog, and you're all dressed up ridiculous. Office Christmas parties. Always fun.
Holiday parties are great. I love those.
Yeah, just like those are fun.
People wear funny sweaters and funny hats. Yeah, that was a snub for sure.
Yeah, I like your candle pick though. I'm a big, because like we have a bunch of Christmas candles like from last year that we didn't light, and it's like we were looking at them. I remember in like July, and I was like, I kind of wanted to light it there because I was like, it'll get me just in a happier mood. Right.
Yeah. But totally worth it. Hey, I'm never, I especially Christmas time, I want the candles to put me in that mood. But anyway, that's our draft of Christmas things. Hope that you guys enjoyed it here on this Christmas Eve. After this, we are going to rewind the clock on the day a little bit to a one-on-one conversation that Dan had a little bit earlier with Henry Greenstein, the California kid. Fresh off listening to the new Red Hot Chili Peppers album, Greenie joined us here in the Kansas Nation studios. That's all coming up next on ESPN Kansas City and KansasNation.com.
Welcome back into a special Christmas and Hanukkah edition of Rock Chalk Sports here on Kansas Nation. As Henry Greenstein You don't celebrate Christmas, correct?
That's correct. Unfortunately, Hanukkah concluded on Sunday night, but I haven't personally celebrated it yet, so I'm looking forward to doing so later this week, and I appreciate your well wishes for the holiday season.
Did you get 8 presents or no?
Some people do it like that.
That's why I've always been jealous of that.
One of the good things about Hanukkah. I wish I had a Hanukkah-themed hat, but those really aren't quite as popular.
Sure, that's fair. Yeah, especially in this part of the country. But I'm sure you can find it at a Walgreens or something. I'm sure that's where I found this thing. But anyway, Henry Greenstein joins the show here on Rock Chalk Sports on Kansas Nation. Sean Kellerman is locked in the bathroom once again. I keep on telling him it's a push, not a pull, and he just can't figure it out. So Henry, I appreciate you filling in for Sean. I want to kick things off, obviously, with the game on Monday against Davidson. Really a lot to like, right? I mean, Trey White looked fantastic. He went 4 for 4 starting off the game, finished the game 4 for 5. Flory looked good down low. We saw Jamari have, I thought, one of his best games as a Jayhawk. Your overall takeaways from the game against Davidson?
Yeah, I think I have a special phrase that might suit things well given the nature of the season. I think it's a really good opportunity to put a bow on the non-conference slate.
Put a bow on it.
Never more appropriate than now. But I thought the game against Davidson was a great display for the Jayhawks in a spot where so many teams could have been lackluster or sleepy. They instead seemed more turned up than usual, even.
Yeah.
I thought the energy from the team was better. The energy from the crowd was better, even compared to the game against Towson, where they were also pretty good. The execution on offense was excellent. Really not a lot of weak spots in the game overall, and that's evidenced by the fact that you get 6 scores in double figures. I'd love to look back and see when the last time was that KU managed that, because it's been quite some time. And, Cole Rosario getting maybe off his latest skid was a good thing to see. He is not afraid to shoot it.
No.
He made a 3 right away, pulled up in transition, made another, started shooting basically every time he got the ball. And, you kind of want to have someone like that on your team.
Yeah.
So I imagine that runs afoul of Bill Self sometimes, but that was fun to see. So offense, great, obviously. Basically everyone played well on that front. Defense, they gave up a fair number of threes, but generally did a pretty good job with their first shot defense as usual. I think the most encouraging defensive sign was forcing 16 turnovers.
Yeah.
KU had been
13 steals too.
Yeah, exactly, because they really were working for the turnover. It wasn't like traveling all the time or anything. KU had been 3rd worst in the nation in turnovers forced per game, and they were averaging like 8.9.
3rd worst?
Yes. They were ahead of Loyola Chicago and Illinois.
Nice.
Maybe in the opposite order, but now they're looking a little bit better, having forced 16 against the Wildcats. There were active hands on display. There was hustling for loose balls. All in all, a performance that definitely allows them to enter the holiday break on a good note and now look ahead to Big 12 play.
Yeah, 100%. And, definitely the way that you want to end the non-conference. And, I kind of want you to expand on Cole Rosario just in terms of kind of what his role you think is going to be heading in. Because I was talking to Shreyas, I talked to Nick Springer about it. I can't remember if I asked you about this, but it felt like after starting the season, then all of a sudden Trey White, we found out he can play the 3, and then Bryson Tiller's been playing the 4. There's no way he gets back in the starting 5, and I was like, oh, he's kind of in that 7-minute purgatory, if you will, where like he's lucky if he gets 8. He's probably not going to get 6. He's probably going to float right around 7. All of a sudden he has 19 minutes.
Is that like a known thing?
No, I just made it up. Trademark. But
you got 19.
Yeah, 19 minutes, 13 points. I mean, do you see him getting more minutes as the season goes on, and do you see him being that spark plug that Kansas has really needed off the bench? Because if you look at the bench overall in non-conference play, I haven't been totally enthused as to what I've seen. Is he going to be the main guy coming off the bench to try to give you that spark whenever you need a 3?
Well, first of all, a lot of it depends on the status of Darren Peterson, because that's a huge chunk of minutes. I think Jamari McDowell's played well enough that when Peterson re-enters the starting lineup, McDowell will still be in line to be 6th or 7th in the rotation or whatever.
Yeah.
But that is something you have to take into account that will necessarily limit the minutes for guys like Rosario and Omarco Jackson and Jaden Dawson. But honestly, I think my answer is it's still up in the air. Like, I think Bill Self really, there were so many difficult opponents in this non-conference schedule. KU didn't have a chance to really deploy the bench all that much.
Sure.
compared to like some other teams in the Big 12 that are playing Alabama State or something for all their games. I think
Mississippi Valley State.
Sorry for the random shot at Alabama State, which I believe was the first 4 team last year, so probably didn't.
Shout out to 2 Chainz, man.
Yeah,
he played basketball there back in the
enough.
90s.
Mississippi Valley State, I think K-State had them on the schedule this year.
They did. They played them.
Yeah. In any case, not a lot of opportunities for young/bench players to shine. So I think Self was really trying extra hard to incorporate them, not just at the end of the game, but over the course of the 40 minutes in these Towson and Davidson games. And I think they responded pretty well against Davidson. I liked seeing Jaden Dawson make some good plays. Bill Self called him out unsolicited in the post-game press conference, and I think he deserved that. He hustled back and had a block on a play in transition on a turnover from Council that should have been a surefire layup for Davidson. He had a really unselfish assist where he lobbed one up to Flory when he was right at the rim. I just thought he fit in more and looked, I guess, less lost or less uncertain than he has in other appearances. We already talked about Rosario. Samis Calderon got a dunk. Paul Mbia scored a couple times. I don't think you can really pencil anyone in for sure and say this person's going to get this amount of minutes, but I do think they'll all be called upon at various times during the conference schedule, and so it's good to see that they can mesh well with the other players on the team and find a way to make some sort of impact, even though that impact varies from player to player.
For sure. Henry Greenstein, KSports.com, and the Lawrence Journal-World joins us here in studio. Henry, I know you're probably sick and tired of talking about it, but it is the question. It is the thing that people are talking about. Darren Peterson obviously did not play in this game. Who knows when we're going to be? I know,
right? This is the first
right?
time I'm hearing about it.
Yeah, I know. Shocker. Yeah, breaking news. He didn't play 2 days ago. But in the post-game press conference, Bill Self said something interesting. He said they, meaning his family, were the ones to essentially call that shot. And he also said that he agrees with the family and they're doing what is best. But your overall kind of takeaways in terms of Darren Peterson missing so many games in this non-conference and where you think this goes from here.
I guess just the troubling part to me is the longer this goes on, the less time there is for Darren Peterson to get acclimated to the fact that his teammates have become more self-actualized and viable players in his absence, and the less time there is for the teammates to realize that they still have to, and I'm paraphrasing something Self said a little while ago, but for the teammates to realize they still have to defer to Peterson because he's still the top scoring option. And that is a non-trivial set of challenges for the Jayhawks to contend with. And I can't help but think that it's detrimental to have DP practicing all week, so they're doing that, and then not playing in the actual games themselves.
Sure.
I'm not sure what the best road forward is, but it's just been a very odd situation because you don't usually hear about someone waiting until he's absolutely 100% to play in a basketball game. And I totally understand why there would be sensitivity from all parties involved in terms of making sure that DP can put the best foot forward. I'm thinking about comments Self has made where his brain is out of sync with his body and stuff like that. That's not a recipe for success.
Right.
Like we compared to McCullough before. You don't want him to go out there and go like 5 of 17 in every game, like kind of some of the late season Kevin McCullough performances where he was dealing with that knee bruise. So I get it. Like I said, I'm very sympathetic, but I think the current arrangement is not helping Peterson or the Jayhawks all that much, and it's unfortunate. I'm sure DP wants to be out there, and I'm sure he's upset that his very existence on the team is becoming a subject of online controversy or whatever.
Yeah.
That's not fair to him as someone who's injured. But at the same time, this is kind of a really awkward and strange situation for a team to be in, and I think it's put a little bit of a damper on what has otherwise been like a pretty successful and impressive non-conference schedule.
Yeah, and we've actually heard from Shaq Moore on this exact same thing, right? Shaq Moore said, look, I went out there too early, and then I wound up having to have surgery later. So I have empathy, but also it's ignorant to ignore the fact that there's restlessness with the fan base in terms of when is this kind of going to end. Just one more thing, just kind of like you said, put a bow on it. But we'll kind of roll through because Kansas right now 10-3, pretty good non-conference. the way that they got out of it, especially without DP. They lost to only Blue Bloods. Your overall takeaways, what's maybe the biggest takeaway, biggest surprise maybe to you in this non-conference?
I was thinking about this earlier. I think that one thing that really stands out to me is that Self and his coaching staff deserve a lot of credit for their evaluations in the transfer portal. We spend a lot of time in the offseason being like, all right, KU's not going after the biggest name guys, but it seems like they're choosing people who fit in with a Bill Self style of play.
Sure.
And can serve as role players around Darren Peterson. Well, I challenge anyone, to find a player who's a better fit for Bill Self style of play than Melvin Council.
Yeah.
He's been better than anyone has anticipated, I would say, especially now that he's been more efficient. I think at the early season it was like, well, he's doing great on defense, he's pushing the break, but he's also going 4 of 13 in every game. Now that's no longer the case. It's hard to take any issue with the way he's playing. Same with Trey White, a career glue guy who describes himself as a jack of all trades, has kind of been like KU's second best scoring option most of the season. Drawing fouls, started out 4 for 4 from 3 yesterday. Great defensive utility in terms of his ability to guard kind of 4s and 3s. He's been kind of an integral part of the defensive switching. Jaden Dawson hasn't totally panned out yet, but there's still time.
Sure.
I guess I just think that they deserve a lot of credit for identifying those two as guys who could be contributors to a team when they weren't necessarily making splashes in the national media for doing so the way they might have the last couple years. Another thing is I just think this team is already one of the best defenses in the country and has the potential to get even better. Like I said, they're not even forcing turnovers. Heading into the Davidson game, they were the number 1 3-point field goal percentage defense in the country.
Yep.
I think that may have slipped a little bit because Davidson made 11 threes or whatever it is.
Yeah, they shot 37%. Is that right?
Yeah.
It sounds.
But I think KU's still holding opponents to 25-point-something% on the year.
Still pretty good. Yeah.
I referenced the switching earlier. It is, I'm sure, a pleasant change of pace for Bill Self that he's able to switch 5 so effectively with his team. Tiller's the one kind of player who maybe needs to work on that a little bit.
Yeah.
But in general, the lineup has executed it so effectively. They locked down UConn so well. And that kind of brings me to the one regret or thing maybe that they wish they could have back is that UConn game. They kind of let that one get away from them.
I know.
That would have been the crown jewel. And I'll set Duke aside because Duke was the better team on that night. Council willed them back to a 3-point deficit. But UConn at home, you have them on the ropes. Even after you lose the lead, it's still a 1-point game with 3 minutes to go, and you just don't score.
Yeah.
That one, I imagine, doesn't totally sit well.
Weirdly, I felt better after the Duke game than I did after the UConn game.
Yeah.
Like,
there's something about losing at Allen that stings.
Puts a bad taste in your mouth.
But on the whole, like Jamari said after the Davidson game, 10-3, considering they didn't have a healthy DP, is pretty darn good. I believe that's what he said. So it's hard to take issue with too many things. I do think that the ceiling of this is not a hot take. The ceiling of the team is largely dependent on whether and how effectively Darren.
I disagree.
Yeah, exactly. But on the whole, lots of reason for optimism, and many players who seem to be playing above what was anticipated of them entering the season.
Yeah, 100%. Henry Greenstein, KUSports.com, and the Lawrence Journal World. Henry, I want to flip it over to football as yet another relatively big name, the guy that we saw a little bit of this year, entered the portal yesterday in Harry Stewart. We also haven't talked to you about David McComb yet. I want to start off with Harry Stewart because I want to give you the chance to tell me that I'm right and I'm the smartest man in the world when I said that that Justin Thurman will be the number 1 running back for next year. But in all seriousness, KU's probably going to go to the portal. They're going to try to get another running back. You would certainly hope to try to get some sort of veteran presence kind of in that room. You lose Johnny Thompson, you lose Harry Stewart. You right there, you thought that was going to be the 1-2 punch, right? The Daniel Highshaw, Le'Shawn Williams, and losing both those guys really, really stinks. Just your thoughts in terms of the running back room in terms of where it sits right now.
Yeah, I feel like there's been, Lance Leipold's done a really good job retaining players over the course of his tenure.
Yeah.
And the players who do leave haven't gone on to much success generally. with a few exceptions.
The kid from Texas A&M,
Yes.
and then the Hawaii wide receiver.
Yes.
Yeah, Springer brought it up yesterday. So yeah.
Yes, I've been mentioning that a couple times. Did you know Stephen McBride is on an indoor football league team with Puka Williams Jr. and their quarterback is Taulia Tagovailoa,
No way.
the Orlando Pirates.
No kidding.
Anyway, yeah, that's Kansas and Hawaii legends.
Talia Tagovailoa is a starting quarterback in some corner of professional football, and Tua is not. Never thought I'd see the day.
Didn't think about it that way. I also, maybe it has something to do with the fact that he was allowed to continue to be right-handed. You know how Tua's father forced him to be left-handed?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
a little bit
crazy.
A little bit of Tua Tagovailoa lore for you.
Oh, fair
is
enough.
that he's basically right-handed in everything he does except throwing a football, and his father wanted him to be a lefty quarterback.
Lefty quarterbacks are fun to watch. I will say, I'll give you that. I love watching lefty.
I'm trying to think of some memorable.
Shout out to Braden Gleason, Emporia State legend.
Sure. In any case, there's been more transfer to portal departures than usual where you look at it and you're like, why? Like, for instance, John Kamara would be an example. Like, to me, it felt like he was going to be a starter next year, as I said on this show last week.
Right.
David McComb, another one. I don't totally understand from an external perspective. And Harry Stewart, the latest, because you figure that the floor for Harry Stewart's involvement with next year's team was to be the 1B.
Yeah.
Like,
you
kind of figure KU will bring in a Le'Shawn Williams-esque transfer at running back, and that person will be paired with Harry Stewart. At least that's how I envisioned it. Now, the running back room is a blank slate. You have quarterbacks who have a combined 67 career passes and running backs who have a combined 5 career carries.
Oh, that's awesome.
And as I referred to it last week, the bad news factory continues to pump out bad news. You're exclusively getting portal entries, and you won't get any good news from the portal until January 2nd.
No, and that's the thing. And I
happy
think,
holidays to KU football fans.
Yeah, it all feels like bad news right now because we literally can't get anybody
Yes.
unless they're D2, D3 players.
So I guess, I don't know. I suspect, and this is not inside information, but I suspect that when you see a transfer and you're like, why? It probably has something to do with money.
Sure.
It just is the way that I'm interpreting it from my external perspective. But in any case, I think Stewart's a big loss. From the moment he arrived on campus, he had a college-ready frame. He had the right mindset and maturity. I thought he was poised to do great things at KU after the kind of older generation of running backs graduated. And so it's a disappointing loss. He had passed Thompson on the depth chart, which showed that he had earned some respect from his coaches. So, yeah, an unfortunate one. And I guess I'll just go on to McComb since
I was going to ask you. Well, I was going to ask you about McComb, but I was going to ask you about the quarterback room in general now, too.
This is such an interesting situation.
Yeah.
Like, KU very clearly, based on what we heard from Leipold, did not intend to pursue a quarterback in the portal.
Yes.
It makes a big difference with your budget when you have to pursue a quarterback in the portal.
100%.
And so, like, how much do they reallocate extra money and try to get someone who could compete to be a starter, or are you looking for a reserve developmental guy who maybe even someone from the 2025 class like McComb to slide into that same? I'm fascinated to see what they choose to do there. I think they'd probably be happy still having a quarterback competition that consists of Cole Bauer and Isaiah Marshall. But what if, like, someone from this area comes up who wants to go closer to home and is a experienced quarterback who could potentially insert his name into the you really don't know what you're going to come across at this point. And so it adds kind of a new level of mystery and intrigue. I have to feel like they'd want to have more than three scholarship quarterbacks on the roster, those being Bauer, Marshall, and Jalen Mason.
Yeah.
So I have to think they'll get one, and I have to think they'll try to get 2 or maybe even 3 running backs when you think about the fact that K.D. Jones flipped.
That's right.
Could maybe even go up
They
to
did
3.
get Corey Mockery, who's number one running back in Michigan, but still.
Yes. So a very peculiar set of portal developments, I guess, and I have a feeling we're not done because there's still a week plus until the actual portal opens, and then even when that happens, there's still 2 more weeks during which players can enter the portal.
Yeah. This is going to be the first time that we see a quarterback battle in the Lance Leipold era because it's always been Jalen, right? There's never been a question about it.
Well, I think there was some uncertainty between him and Bean, like after the 21 season.
Sure.
And,
yeah.
Sorry.
No. You're right about that. But I mean, it's Jalen was typically always going to be the guy. My question to you is, do they change depending on who wins the starting spot? Do they change the I guess, do they change the way that the offense is, right? Because with Cole Ballard, you can run more of a style of offense like Kansas ran this year. With Isaiah Marshall, you're probably looking more back towards the Andy Kotelnicki days where you're running more option. You're running more pre-snap motion kind of stuff. Do you think that's going to kind of force the hand? Do you think they change the offense first to fit that, or do you think that they figure out who the quarterback is and then mold the offense around who it is?
I actually don't think they'll adapt things too much. I think there's a clear set of. I mean, any responsible offensive coordinator will tailor his scheme to the talents of his players. Like, obviously that's the case, but I think Leipold laid out like a series of characteristics he wants the players. He wants them to be a rushing threat. He wants them to manage a game responsibly. He wants them to be able to take chances downfield, stuff like that. I think that they'll choose the quarterback who does the best job of doing that, so that in turn that quarterback can operate the offense effectively. I honestly don't foresee a huge amount of schematic changes. Now, I do think Isaiah Marshall is a better runner than Cole Ballard, and I do think it would be wise to do more option and read option if he's the one who ultimately ends up winning the job. But, I mean, I think that will be part of the scheme regardless, because Leipold has explicitly said he wants a rushing threat at quarterback, and he considers Cole Ballard to be one of those two.
And he is. We've seen it before.
Yes. Although I think that fumble against Texas Tech kind of hurt his like he didn't get used in those packages as much down the stretch because of it.
That is very true. Real quick before we let you go, your preference of quarterback, Isaiah Marshall or Cole Ballard? Who do you want to see?
It's tough to say, because I think I'm not going to weasel out of this one.
You better not.
I do think Cole Ballard is being unfairly judged by a lot of fans based on a game and a half he played when he was a freshman walk-on third-string quarterback, or former walk-on. I guess he had already gotten the scholarship at that point. And those people are conveniently forgetting that he came in for one play this year and immediately threw a touchdown against Iowa State and had some good moments like that. But I do think Isaiah Marshall has a higher ceiling. I think there's probably a wider range of outcomes, but I think probably for KU to reach it, and again, we don't know anything about the rest of the roster at this point.
That's true.
But I do think KU can probably have a higher ceiling if Isaiah Marshall rises to the occasion of this quarterback competition and proves himself the worthy victor. That will likely create more optimism, I think, about how far the team can go in 26.
Makes sense. Henry, got any fun holiday plans? Any fun family Greenstein traditions that you guys do out there in LA?
Not that immediately come to mind. I mean, we'll celebrate Hanukkah, like I said, somewhat belatedly, and we'll have latkes and
but say you eat potato pancakes, like hash browns, right?
Yes, they're similar to that. Was it you who hadn't heard of them?
Shay
was not familiar with the concept of a latke, which I had to educate him. But yes, we'll have latkes, we'll have pasta and whatnot, and it will be a delightful time with family. I'm looking forward to it.
Nice. Latkes and pasta. Well, safe travels. Hopefully you get back to the Golden State all right, and enjoy the weather, because it's going to be about the same weather as it is here in Kansas.
It's actually really rainy in LA right now.
Really?
It'll be better here in Lawrence.
Oh my gosh, that's unbelievable. Well, Henry, I appreciate it once again, man. Safe travels, and we'll talk to you next year.
Oh my gosh, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Henry Greenstein, KUSports.com, and the Lawrence Journal-World. Coming up after this, the KU Mailbag. By the people, for the people, the KU Mailbag, where you ask us questions, we answer them to the best of our abilities right here on Rock Chalk Sports, KansasNation.com, and ESPN Kansas City.
Hey, Crown Automotive over on South Iowa gives the best customer service. They've got great quality vehicles as well. CrownAutomotive.com. Our first partner here at Kansas Nation. So I want to shout out Miles Schneier and everybody. Check them out on South Iowa or CrownAutomotive.com, particularly if you're in the market for a Christmas gift or you got some birthdays coming up for some special people in your life. That's the place to go.
5-time top-rated car dealership on Carfax.com. So be sure to check them out. They'll get you in the right car that you deserve. Like I said, 5 times top-rated dealer in 2020, 2021, 2022, 23, and 24. So
there you go.
5 years in a row, 5 years running. I don't know if they've voted yet for 2025. I will cast my vote for Crown Automotive. Shout out to Miles Schneider and company. Also, great wine by Miles Schneider.
Yes. Oh my
Check out
gosh.
his
Schneider
wine.
Family Winery. Is that what it's called?
Zenith.
Over in Zenith.
Winery.
Zenith Winery.
I think it's
owned by the Schneider family.
Schneider's on the bottles. It's just Google it. It is
Zenith Winery, and they originate in Oregon, I believe.
Yes, that's right. So check out their wines and check out their cars. Not at the same time.
KU Mailbag segment.
KU Mailbag. By the people, for the people, the KU Mailbag, where you send us questions and we try to answer them to the best of our ability. Elliot, I met him, by the way, at the KU Davidson game. He's back in town from Minnesota.
How about that?
He said he used to work with you. Back
Go
at
for
Boys and
fan.
Girls.
Go for fan. Yeah. Shout out BGC LK.
Yeah. Shout out to Elliot. He says, what is the best Christmas present / birthday present you ever received?
Man, I'm going to go really sappy on this. I got my wife an engagement ring.
Yeah.
I proposed around Christmas time, which actually
Yeah, but the
I
best-
am really
the
bummed
best one you've
because
ever
that
received.
was December. Yeah, I know, but I received the gift of her saying yes.
I thought you said she said sure.
She said yeah, actually.
Nice.
She said yeah. Oh my gosh, that totally bums me out though. We forgot to 2 days ago. My wife, like that's the thing, man. Life just happens. My wife just we both forgot. We both didn't
No
bring it up at
kidding.
all. It's
What
December
a-
21st, 2019.
Really? Oh my gosh.
I know, but
the
no,
winter solstice.
I don't know, man. So many
Shortest day
greats.
of the
I've
year.
talked about Mr. Bucket before. Great toy when I was young.
You played with because back in the day you had Jacks and wooden
Pogs.
Tinker toys.
Pogs. Hey, real ones know what
Um,
Pogs are. Elijah would have loved Pogs. They're back in the 90s. Okay, Elijah does know what they are and loves
I've
them.
heard
I
of
have to
Pogs
assume.
before.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, so that would have been Civil War era toys. I mean,
Yes.
a lot of lead paint, right?
Lead paint was big.
Mostly made of cast iron.
Grew up in a pink house. Little
Nice.
pink house.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Um,
Your toys? Oh, let me guess. A PS5 you got.
no, I wasn't a video game guy. I was never really. I got a PS2, I think, for my birthday one year potentially, and that was fun. But I never really played it.
The gaming systems realistically were awesome, and I got some of those. A PS2 I think was a big one,
Yeah,
and
that
you
was
get
huge.
games. It's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
It's
that
so
was.
much
I
fun.
played a lot of the SpongeBob SquarePants the movie, the video game.
Yes.
That was a great video game.
I
got a Wii one year, but
Nintendo Switch I got. My wife bought me that. We love playing KUI. You and I
Sure.
talked about this before.
Yeah.
We need to play KUI at some point. Are you a Mario Kart guy?
I am.
Yeah.
I love Mario Kart. I'm not good at it. I'm
Well,
really actually
no. But you don't
probably
have
the
to
worst.
Be. You don't have to be for KUI. You're good.
Sweet. I got a Hot Wheels thing. It was like the big meteor, and they
Oh,
would
yes.
go around and around like this.
Hot Wheels tracks are so fun.
How old was I? I think I might have been like 22.
22, 24.
Yeah, somewhere around there. That one sticks out to me because that was really cool.
Hot Wheels tracks are great, and I had
Yeah.
the wrestling action figures, WWF.
Yeah,
So
I went
good.
through a phase where that was like all I got for Christmas
Yeah.
was like I remember I like unwrapped like an Edge one and like a John Cena one.
Oh,
It was awesome.
so good, man! Kids need to play with toys. Like I just love it.
I know. Hey,
I
Toy Star
just
is right
love it,
down
man.
here
Yeah,
on Mass
it's
Street.
great.
I
Shout out.
actually went in
Downtown
there the other
Lawrence.
day to get some stuff for my nephews.
Nice,
Not for me.
right?
Yeah, I think maybe the Hot Wheels Meteor thing was cool. A lot of WWE action figures were awesome. Oh man, I'm trying to think if I've ever gotten anything like super big.
You've been very lucky in your
I
day.
have been very, very lucky.
You've been very lucky.
Very lucky.
in your
Very
day.
lucky.
Those are good ones.
Yeah. Elliot also asks. He says, "Which game would you rather change to a guaranteed win? The KU versus Mizzou football loss in 2007, or the KU versus VCU basketball game in 2011?" So that was with the Morris twins. Xavier Henry was on that team, I believe. Tyshawn was on that team too.
So yeah, 2010,
Was Withy
2011
on that
was one of the
team?
more stacked rosters we had. You had the Morris twins. You had Tyshawn Taylor, Tyrell Reed. No, Jeff Withy wasn't on that team, but like Thomas
right.
Robinson was coming off the bench.
That's right.
Travis Relaford,
Yeah.
Elijah Johnson. The team was
I mean,
just
that team could have won the
completely-
national championship.
completely loaded. Yeah,
And
I
they
mean
lost to-
that's what it is for me, which is surprising. I think maybe to some because I hate Mizzou so much.
Yeah.
But that one was so crushing, particularly because I was in college.
Mhm.
That being said, the next year we got it all back.
Right.
We got it all back because we had a roster that wasn't nearly as deep, but Tyshawn and T-Rob led us to the national championship game. And but you hated the Morris twins' career ending that way, and that team was the best in the country, I think. And it was the year after the Northern Iowa loss, so you had a back-to-back really painful losses. And Elite Eight obviously is the worst. And then we hate Shaka Smart.
I'm going with 07.
Yeah,
because if KU wins that game, are they in the national championship? KU was ranked number 2.
Yeah.
During that game,
right?
Mizzou was ranked 1. Or no, they were ranked 4, right?
Kansas would have had to play
in the Big 12 championship against Oklahoma.
But you're right. Really if they would have won both, then obviously they're in the national championship.
Right.
So.
I mean, that to me is the biggest kind of like what if.
Right.
Like that would have been such a turn, like a pivotal point for Kansas football. If Kansas wins that game, they play in a Big 12 championship. Even if they lose to Oklahoma, I mean, you're still playing in a BCS bowl. That one to me, I think, is probably the biggest one. He also says, is there another notable game you wish you could change to a win? 2012, right?
2012 for sure. I mean, I mentioned the Northern Iowa game. You're going to be upset about that. But like I'll always say, 2020 not getting a chance to play.
No, I was about to say, yeah. Those, like, if KU would have been able to play in 2020, Kansas would have won the national championship by far and away. They were the best team in the nation. Cole says, if my friends are doing a Christmas party on New Year's Eve, should I wear a Christmas sweater, or is it weird since it's New Year's Eve?
No, I'm of the mindset that Christmas should continue through the 31st of December.
Sure.
I hate when radio stations stop playing Christmas music at midnight after Christmas.
I agree.
It's like, wow, slap me while I'm down. Christmas is over. Got to go back to work.
Yeah.
And now nobody's holly and jolly anymore. Man, I don't even want to bring this up because I'm already bummed in advance about it. But having to take down Christmas decorations, it's the worst. I mean, our house is decked out, man.
See, that's I do the exact opposite. I just don't take them down.
Yeah.
My Christmas tree is up right now, and it has been up since last year.
Right.
We just moved it. It was downstairs. We did bring it upstairs.
Yeah.
So probably we'll move it downstairs, and it'll stay up until
already
Christmas
decorated?
of 2026.
That is not fun. You don't have the joy of decorating.
No. We take the decorations off.
Okay.
So we'll take the decorations off. We'll leave the tree up.
I don't think it's weird.
Lazy.
One of my favorite things, though, to do, and this is a classic dad joke, is you know how people will say Happy New Year's like whenever?
Yeah.
It'll be like February. So I'm just officially in on that. It's going to be February. Hey, Happy New Year's. How's everything going? It's like, dude, it's March 24th. But
That's
yeah,
great.
people do that all the time. So no. Wear the Christmas sweater. I'm here for it.
You said through December 31st. So if we're hanging out and midnight hits, does he have to take it off? Because then it's January 1st.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
As soon as balls are dropping, man. As soon as balls are dropping, he's got to.
Sure.
He's
So when you're
got to
about
change
12,
clothes.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Ed wants to know, in your opinion, is KU athletics a hot mess like many college programs because of player payments, NIL deals, and open border transfer portals? I don't think they're a hot mess.
I will say that the NCAA is a hot mess because of all that stuff. I will say KU athletics is doing great.
I think they're doing fantastic.
Basketball, women's basketball, volleyball.
This goes back to what
baseball.
we're talking about. Right now, it's all bad because KU can't get anybody.
Now, if you're talking about like the last week or two where the bad news for football is exclusively.
If you want to look holistically, the can of worms it's going to be tough. They're trying to put some stuff into place that's going to tamper that down, with the revenue sharing cap and all this different kind of stuff. So, look, I think it's getting better. I don't think Kansas is a hot mess. I think they've done an excellent job in terms of weathering the storm.
It sure would have been nice if a few things went KU football's way, and I know nobody feels more strongly about that than Lance Leipold, but I mean, you look, and if you catch the ball, if you're Rich Miller, or you catch the ball, if you're Trey Lathan, if you don't have the
Jameel Croft Jr. doesn't go out.
There's just so many things. You pick up the football against UNLV. Obviously, there's plays to be made, as we talked about, and Kansas hasn't made them. But at the same time, bad luck has been a thing as well. But yeah, football related, we'll see when the portal officially opens on January 2nd, and then that'll be exciting because we will have some talented players come in. Coach Leipold has always brought in talented guys, and KU's going to have more money to work with, I would say, than they have, at least from a roster standpoint, because you're not going to have as much going to the quarterback. You would think. I have no idea if that's true, but I would think that that's the case.
Yeah.
But quality question, you just got to feel great about the hires that Travis Goff has had and
Yeah.
success. Again, like I said, baseball, volleyball, women's basketball is trending up. And
It's a fair
that sort of
question.
thing.
I think KU Athletics is fine. I think they've done a really good job. Andy wants to know, he says, this question is for Sean. Why would you ever leave Daniel alone to determine when to push the point and when to take the money line? Can you explain it to him again, please?
So
okay,
this poor guy just doesn't
let me-
understand.
Let me try
this
it.
poor guy being Dan Courtright.
Let me try it again. So if you are a 1.5 point favorite, you take the money line.
Yes.
And when you're a 1.5 point dog, you take the spread.
You want to take the point. Yeah.
Okay.
If they're offering you the point, you take the point.
Do we have an applause button?
There was a game earlier this year, and there have been multiple actually, and I'm sure there's been a billion in college basketball or NBA or whatever, where a team's 1.5 point favorite. But in football specifically, I remember Cardinals-Niners played, and I think the Niners won 16-15, and they were 1.5 point favorites. Is it really worth laying the 1.5 because you think the 49ers are going to win?
It's better odds.
It's not worth it for the amount of money that you're.
How many games end in a 1 point victory?
And that's the exact mindset that makes people unbelievably angry.
But
it's not worth it. If you're betting, even if you're betting $500 on this game, is it really worth forfeiting I'm making this up, but is it worth forfeiting the $25-$30 if the Niners win, but they win by 1, and you lose your bet because they only won by 1? And again, there's different schools of thought. Some people think even 2.5, you take the minus 142 just so you don't have to worry about it. And then all of a sudden the game's getting really close. It's like, man, I'm glad I got the money line and not don't have to have them win by 3.
It's a giant thought experiment for me because Sean was obviously out with his baby and I was left alone to do game picks by myself, and I can only imagine I messed it up a lot.
It didn't go well.
No, if you give me like 30 seconds to really let the gears turn in my head, I think maybe I can figure it out. But when I'm in the middle of my game picks, I'm like, give me the spread. Like I don't even want to think about it. My brain isn't wired that way to be like, automatically.
I get it as long as it's not 1.5.
So
you just don't want a situation where a team wins by 1 and you lay minus 1.5. Because then you're like, man, I called this. The Niners are going to win, but they only won by 1.
So is 2.5 too much? Or do you still tend to?
It depends. Again, I play safe. If you're throwing it on a parlay, just throw on the money line.
Like we're talking basketball. Like basketball 2.5 is probably because like anything can happen, right?
Right. Well, and again, then you have free throws. You have guys fouling up 3. But even in football, you have teams going for 2 these days, and it's that messes stuff up. So anyway, appreciate that question, Andy. We haven't visited that together in a while. Colin says, what's your Christmas food hot take? Is there a food you wish was a part of the Christmas spread, or is there a popular food you think doesn't belong? I don't think turkey belongs. You cannot have turkey on Christmas when you just had it on Thanksgiving.
That was a month ago.
Anything Thanksgiving-y, I think, needs to be separate.
Well, I had pizza a month ago. That means I'm not going to have pizza this month.
Christmas food hot take, and I said this yesterday, give me barbecue. Why not?
Sure.
Smoke a brisket. Give me barbecue. And honestly, the Courtright Padilla residents, if I'm not mistaken, did Mexican food. Okay.
For a long time.
Love it. Let's just not do turkey and stuffing. It's like, hey, that's Thanksgiving food. That's my hot take.
Fair enough. I don't know if I have a hot take because you know this. I'm not a picky eater, right?
You're a fast eater, though.
I am a fast eater.
You're the only person who eats faster than me.
Dude, you should. It's a spectacle.
Do you taste your food? No.
No. This has been a point of contention in my house. Piper keeps on yelling at me to chew my food because I don't chew. I have TMJ. This might be a little too much information. I have TMJ, so my jaw pops, so I don't like move my jaw a lot. And so I'll go like 1, 2, and then just swallow.
Oh my God.
And it's not.
That
good.
is weird.
Yeah.
No offense.
Well, and it's like, and sometimes it's like, it tastes so good, I want it in my belly now.
Right.
I want it in my belly right now. And then I'm like, oh, wait, no, the good part was in the taste buds.
Do you and Piper start eating at the same time and you just finish your food immediately?
Yeah, a lot of my time eating is spent waiting on her to finish.
Okay. Well, you know what? That works out well because then you can be done and then you can get your second helping and still be done and still have time to do all the dishes.
Right, exactly. Meanwhile, she's not even through the salad.
Yeah. You know, dude, one thing my wife does that I've never told you about, I think she's still like this. I haven't paid attention because I'm focused on my food. But she has to eat one category at a time.
Oh, that's weird.
Like if she has a grilled chicken breast and veggies and like mashed potatoes or something, she has to eat all of one. Not me, man.
Like she'll
I'm just like,
she'll
I want
finish-
a bite of everything.
She'll finish all the corn
Yeah.
first, and then she'll get to the green beans or whatever.
Yes, and then she'll go to the chicken. It's weird,
And so,
dude.
meanwhile, the meat is just getting cold.
Theoretically,
She can't go back and forth. She can't be like, bite of corn,
No,
bite of
cannot
turkey,
go back and forth.
bite of salad, bite of the cookie for
I'm
dessert.
telling you.
Man, that's
Strange.
crazy.
Yep.
One thing that I think should be, I mean, look, I'm a big Mexican food advocate for not for Thanksgiving,
Mm-hmm.
for Christmas. I think that should be more, because it's so easy to make it like family style too, right? You cook up a couple of pounds of ground beef, throw in some seasoning, lay out all the tortilla, have a stack of tortillas and just say, go to town, right? It's almost like a buffet. That's kind of how we did it in my family. That's
You can't
the way
beat
to
a
do it.
Mexican food buffet. You can't beat it. It's so
Why?
good.
Oh yeah, you can't beat
Yes,
it.
you can't beat
Yeah,
it. It's
you
so
can't beat
good.
it. No, I know, and that's kind of the way we did it. Henry wants to know most anticipated movie of 2026.
I don't even know what movies came out in 2025, Henry. So I'm gonna let Dan answer this one.
The trailer for the Odyssey movie came out.
Okay.
I
I don't know anything about these. I
You
don't.
read the Odyssey
No.
in school.
I did not. I probably spark noted it.
Come on.
I'm not.
I didn't read it either,
read
by the
books
way.
about the Jayhawks,
Well,
man.
we were supposed to read it. Yes, we were supposed to. I don't remember anything about it, but I remember a few things about it, and it's one of the great stories. It was written by Homer, but Matt Damon is playing Odysseus. Tom Holland is in it.
Former Taylor Swift lover.
Anne Hathaway. That's not true, is it?
Yeah, Tom Holland. I'm
Holland?
pretty sure he dated her.
You're kidding.
I think.
Huh. Anne Hathaway's in
I
it.
can look that up.
Let's see. A lot of other people are in it. Chris Nolan is directing it. Which I
They
think
have
is gonna
not
be a lot of
dated. Who
fun.
did he date?
Zendaya.
No.
Him and Zendaya have been in a long-term relationship for a long time.
No, I got to think of who I'm thinking of. Olivia Bolton? No.
But I'm
I don't know. I just was wrong about that. Anyway, Piper wants to know, you have 7 coins and a balanced scale. 1 coin is heavier. I am confused where the question is in this question. Is it what coin?
So no, it's no, sorry, I didn't. I have this. This Piper is my fiance.
Yes. Which I appreciate her engaging with the show.
This is a thought experiment for you. It's brain teaser.
Okay.
So you have 7 coins. One of them is heavier. You have a balance scale, but you can only use the scale 2 times to determine which coin is heavier. How do you do it?
You have 7 coins.
7 coins.
6 are the same weight, and 1 is heavier.
6 are the same weight and 1 is heavier.
Is that I'm questioning that?
Yes.
Okay.
What's your first move?
You
can only use the
You
scale
have 7 coins
twice.
and a balanced scale. 1 coin is heavier than the rest.
Yes.
So what do I need to do?
So you can only use the scale twice to determine which coin is heavier.
And are they all the same size?
Mm-hmm. All the same size. You can't tell the coin is heavier by holding it or by looking at it or anything. The only way
Okay.
you can determine which one's heavier is by the scale.
Wow. And I can only use the scale twice. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out which coin is heavier.
Well, that's what the scale is for.
Right. But I've got a 28.
What's your first move?
I mean, I've got a 28.6% chance of it being one of the heavier coins being one of the first 2 that I put, because 2 out of 7 is 28.6.
Sure.
So I don't know, man. I don't know what the strategy is other than just throw 2 coins on there.
So I know the strategy because it was told to me because I'm too stupid to figure it out. Piper got
Is it put all 7 on the
Piper got it in
scale
like
once?
20 seconds.
Okay.
No. So you take a set of 3 and a set of 3, and you leave one off. You put them on. If it's balanced,
So you can put multiple coins on
so you
there.
can put multiple coins.
Okay.
So you go 3 and 3.
Yeah.
You put them on the balance. If it's balanced, then you know that's the one.
Yeah.
If it's not, and one of them sinks, then you know that the heavier coin is in these
one
3.
of those 3.
So you take all the other coins, you put them aside, you take those 3. Then for the 3, you put 1, and then you take one off.
I see.
And then if it's balanced,
Okay.
then you know it's that one. And then if one of
Yeah,
them goes like that,
I
then
see.
you know that's the heavier one.
Interesting. Okay.
Thought
Very
experiment.
good question. Very good question. That
That you didn't figure out.
well, that's
she
very
wanted
true.
me to ask you
That's
this
very
because
true.
she wanted to make sure that she was smarter than you.
I needed to know that I could put multiple coins on there
Sure.
at once, but I probably just didn't.
It's a fun little brain teaser for you.
Yeah.
Kelsey wants to know if you could uninvent something, what would it be?
The ability for kids to watch people play video games online.
Ooh, like Twitch?
Yeah.
And like, interesting. That's like a boomer
That's got to be
take.
brain rot, right?
Elijah just hates you right now, by the way.
I know, right?
That's a good. That's a solid pick. I did find that a little fascinating. It's like, just play the video game.
Yeah.
You know, like why are you watching someone else play the video game?
It's interesting, man.
You
I
should
don't
play
get
the
it.
video game.
I don't get it. I
I
guess it's not as fun to actually play.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like video games.
PlayStation was so
like
great.
we can't be like, oh, why are you watching football players? Just go out there and play football. It's like, no, I'm not that good. But like for video games, anybody has access to them.
Right, and you can play even if you're not good.
That's a good.
Yeah.
That's a
I don't know.
good
How about you?
poll right there. I was gonna say. Well, I was maybe gonna say the transfer portal, but I actually like the transfer portal. The idea of the transfer portal. I like the idea that
The
kids
current
don't
execution.
Yes, the current execution of it. I think it needs to be reinvented. I think that needs a lot of
Sort of fine tuning.
re-upping. What's something that really just does not need to be? This is a good question.
I'm gonna let you mull this over during the break.
I'm gonna say segways, like the ones that like cops ride on.
Okay.
It's like just walk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They go like 4 miles
Right.
an hour. I've never been crazy about them, and like people I see like and like the hoverboards were big back in the day. They're not super big now. But it's just like I didn't like those.
Yeah.
I wasn't crazy about them. Like there's other modes of transportation. Just use
Right.
your legs.
Or like the shoes that you can roll on. It's like, dude,
Oh, Heelys are cool.
You need to
no.
walk. Okay.
No. Don't you talk trash on Heelys.
You guys probably have better ideas out there than us, so let us know at the Kansas Nation on Twitter which ones we forgot in terms of things you want to uninvent, if you will. After this, we're going to do a quick look at the transfer portal, alleged transfer portal for Kansas football. Coming up next on ESPN Kansas City and KansasNation.com. Welcome back to Rock Chalk Sports on this Christmas Eve. Hope everybody is having a great holiday season and gets to enjoy some time away from work, some time with your family, and, enjoy doing whatever it is that you do. My family, we do a lot of games. We do a lot of just hanging out and looking forward to the opportunity to do that here in these next couple days. Going to talk KU football transfer portal, but first want to talk to all the men listening right now, anybody watching on YouTube. Make sure that you're feeling okay. The holiday season is definitely an important time of year, and you want to start the new year right. We talk about that often. A good place to go is Game Day Men's Health Lawrence over on Wakarusa, West Lawrence. If you're tired all the time, if you're lacking energy, motivation, lacking a sex drive, or you feel like there's a chance you might have low T because of some of these reasons, go on over and say hello to Mitch Bales at Game Day Men's Health Lawrence. They'll do a quick blood draw. They'll get some results for you, and it's complimentary, your first visit. So tell them the guys at Rock Chalk Sports sent you. And again, it's something that a lot of people deal with. 50% of guys experience low T before the age of 40, and 60% of guys have ED problems at some point in their life. They can help you. They can answer your questions over at Game Day Men's Health Lawrence. Appreciate their partnership. All right, Dan, let's talk KU football transfer portal. Of course, the big names of guys who have intended to go into the transfer portal, or at least, they've said that. There have been rumblings. Rumblings we always like using this time of year, right?
Yes.
January 2nd, the portal officially opens, but tell us a little bit about some guys that might not be donning crimson and blue next year.
Yes, so as of yesterday, 3 more guys have intended to enter the transfer portal. Harry Stewart, a running back. I talked to Henry about that earlier. In the show. A really big blow for this Kansas running back room, as Justin Thurman really is the number 1 guy as of right now, who I'm super high on, and I said that he really could be the number 1 guy, even with Harry Stewart and Johnny Thompson in that room. So that stinks. Dre Gibson also entered yesterday. He's a cornerback, came over from Tucson, I believe. And then Caleb Redd, who came over from Kentucky, didn't see a lot of him this year, was really high on him. He's a defensive end. He declared that he's going to be going into the transfer portal. So as of right now, here's the official updated intention to enter the transfer portal, I guess, if you will. So Efren Jasso was the first one, or Yasso, I believe is how it's pronounced. He was a preferred walk-on. He's a punter for Kansas. Johnny Thompson Jr. was the second one to enter. He's a running back. Again, supposed to be one of that 1-2 punch with Harry Stewart and Johnny Thompson. That is going to be no longer. Bryce Cahoon, who was a preferred walk-on, transferred over from Syracuse, actually a Kansas native, he played high school ball with Avery Johnson. Actually, wide receiver, he's going to be transferring as well. Ja'Cory Stewart, who plays linebacker, declared on December 5th. Jaden Ham, tight end from Eudora. That's really big blow to the tight end room. Obviously, you got Carson Brune coming back next year, but that one really sucks because I really like Jaden Ham. He declared on December 6th. Damani Maxon, safety, declared December 10th. Lyric Rawls, probably the biggest name out of any of these guys who are transferring out, play the second most snaps, I believe, out of anybody on the defensive side of the ball. He declared that he's going to be going to the transfer portal on December 11th. John Kamara, who has a lot of potential and really was going to be the number one guy next year for Kansas, also is intending to enter as well at that linebacker spot. Jameel Croft, as we know, he had the gaff, if you will, in the K-State game a couple years ago, where he took the ball out of bounds at the 1-yard line, resulted in a safety, and that wound up being the difference in the score for the University of Kansas against K-State. Logan Brantley, linebacker who saw a little bit of time this year. We were all super high on Logan Brantley. Linebacker, he declared on December 15th. Graydon Grimes, who was actually Jeff Grimes' son, played offensive line. He declared December 16th. Didn't talk about that one yet. He didn't really see the field whatsoever, but he's going to be entering the transfer portal. Keeney Anane, he's an offensive lineman as well. Didn't really see a whole lot of time. David McComb, probably the biggest one that we never got to see. That one could be a heartbreaker. That really sucks because I was really, really high on David McComb. I thought he was going to be an excellent quarterback for the University of Kansas. Now he's going to be going. And like I said, Harry Stewart, running back, Caleb Redd, defensive end, and then Dre Gibson with corner. That's the updated list as we speak right now.
Yeah, and again, with the situation, with it not opening until January 2nd, you're not going to hear nearly as much about guys potentially coming in.
Hey, we got Jabril Condi.
Those are the names of guys with intentions to enter the portal. And, of course, any breaking news on that front, we are going to give to you on Rock Chalk Sports. And we'll see. We'll have better days ahead, better news ahead. But that's the updated list of what we can tell you, at least rumblings of guys intending to enter the portal. We're going to break down KU football's roster, as we always do, in the coming weeks, months, etc., before the 2026 season. After this, talking KU basketball, closing out the non-con with a revisitation of a few games from the non-conference season. Rock Chalk Sports, ESPN Kansas City, and KansasNation.com. A Merry Christmas Eve and Happy Holidays to everybody from us here at Kansas Nation. Appreciate you sticking with us since we started this thing back in August. Looking forward to a wildly successful and really fun 2026 as well. We'll be back on the air following today's show Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 4 to 6. KansasNation.com, ESPN Kansas City. And Dan, follow us on socials as well.
Yes, at the Kansas Nation on Twitter or X, the everything app, if you will. Instagram and TikTok. Facebook, just look up Kansas Nation. You will find us right there. YouTube, also be sure to like and subscribe and watch all of our content because we have great content going up all the time on our YouTube channel. And you can look at all of that content on KansasNation.com. Where we post all of the articles, all the press releases from the University of Kansas. All the shows are on there as well. So be sure to check out KansasNation.com and everywhere on our social media platforms.
Gonna take a look back at KU basketball's 10-3 non-conference schedule really quick with limited time here. But let's start with the exhibition game against Louisville. That was really the, whoa, this dude is for real. Darren Peterson, 26 points. He had 6 threes in that game, just goes off in the first half. KU wins against a team ranked in the top 25 in Louisville, 90-82, and that was a nice victory in the exhibition because Kansas had previously lost their exhibition against power conference teams to Arkansas and Illinois the previous 2 years. KU, without DP, blows out Fort Hays State to close out the exhibition. Then the opener against Green Bay, 94-51. A lot of good things. Darren Peterson played in that game.
Yeah.
And then North Carolina, KU goes to Chapel Hill. And to me, that 87-74 loss said more about North Carolina than about Kansas, certainly in hindsight, as UNC is better than some people anticipated.
Yeah, certainly, right? UNC was ranked number 25, I believe, at the time, and now UNC is, top 15, top 10 team as of right now. So they're a really good program. Obviously, a lot of really good players on that squad. Going to the Dean Dome is always going to be very, very tough. But, liked what we saw at Darren Peterson in that game. Just team wasn't quite clicking and didn't really have the chemistry that it does now.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, not anything to scoff at, that loss to UNC. Next two games were without Darren Peterson, who didn't close the game against North Carolina, but KU a 31-point win over Corpus Christi and a 19-point win against Princeton. Flory Bidunga, big one against the Tigers. Then we went to Madison Square, lost to Duke 78-66. It's interesting, right? Because that was maybe the first game where you felt like, oh, man, these guys are playing with pride.
Yeah.
And now we've seen that results in much better looking performances, much better looking offense. KU ends up losing by 12 to Duke. It was a 1-point game late. Didn't have DP again, but it was like, okay, this team's a little bit different than the past couple years.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the best I've ever come out of a 12-point loss feeling in my life,
it
right?
Was like, whoa, this team's got it.
We opened up with that show. We're like, man, KU lost by 12? You feel really good about it. You felt really good about all those key pieces surrounding, with the absence of Darren Peterson and everything like that. Kansas still looked pretty good. And then, right after that, they went on a nice little run there in the Players Era Tournament against Notre Dame.
Players Era Tournament victories over Notre Dame and Syracuse, decent teams. And then Tennessee, Kansas wins $300,000 in NIL funds by getting in the top 3 of the Players Era Tournament. 81-76, Marco Jackson goes off after the bigs. Flory Bidunga and Bryson Tiller have been so good the first 2 games. Kansas, again, down by 12 in the second half, storms back as Marco came in. KU didn't have DP or Trey White, and he really had his moment. KU wins a lot of money on that front. And again, you start to see now tangible results of Kansas improving, even without their star player. Didn't have him against UConn either, 61-56. But again, you felt good. You held UConn to 61.
Yeah.
You take that pretty much any night.
Yeah, absolutely, right? And, with it being a 5-point loss, that game didn't really feel like a 5-point loss. You just had to be able to close it out, and they just weren't able to do it. But it was a fun game, a tough battle, too.
Nice bounce back. KU blows out Mizzou. That's what we do, 80-60. Then you had Melvin Council, 36 points. KU gets a marquee 1-point overtime win at NC State before impressive wins over quality mid-majors in Towson and Davidson. KU 10-3. Now they get UCF January 3rd. Happy holidays from everybody here at Kansas Nation. We'll catch you guys next week. For Elijah Schmidt running the operation and Dan Courtwright, I'm Sean Kellerman. Can't wait to keep you guys informed on all things KU moving forward. Again, have a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and we'll see you later on ESPN Kansas City and KansasNation.com.